sometimes I think I have the same thing you have, that people automatically assume that I'm mean or that I'm a certain type of way, and I'm actually one of the nicest people.
You know what I'm saying? She came to me, and this was something she never did, because Rem is not really apologetic.
I don't think she is.
She ain't that type, you know what I'm saying?
To put it bluntly, Papoose is sick of Remy Ma's games. According to rumors, he pulled up on her and insisted that she sign the divorce papers right now. But she is refusing to do so, because Pap might just hit her wallet for the alimony check if she does. Let's not pretend that Pap doesn't have a strong argument. After all, he supported her during her more than 10 years in prison, helped her son further her profession, and now that she was unfaithful and moved on, she wants to postpone the divorce. Oh, we have to get into this. Although Papoose prefers not to boast on the internet, he has been begging Remy to give him a moment in private. But every time he tries, she always finds a new excuse. So he's fed up and shows up on her, demanding answers like, "What's the holdup, Remy? You're attempting to keep me legally bound to you even though you already embarrassed me in public and fled with Easy the Block captain." But as soon as he mentioned alimony, Remy's excitement swiftly altered. We all saw Remy out and about with Easy the Block after all these years of commitment, so let's be honest. She knew that Papoose might simply come for the bag if she got divorced. She was shaken for that reason. Acting like a high school girl in love and even rapping about him during a battle was inappropriate and loud, revealing that she was in love with someone else while still legally married to Papoose.
I'm only gonna address this one time, since y'all wanna be on the front lines. Hey, yo, Remy, don't you love me? See, right there, that's the punchline.
The funny thing is that you've already moved on, Mr. Block. Remy wants to pretend that she recently started a new work with Pap after the captain left her for 2 younger women. She didn't mind showing him disrespect, but now that her life is in disarray, she wants to keep him from being content. Claressa Shields is an unbeaten boxing champion, a self-made millionaire, and more than just an Instagram influencer now that Pap has a real one.
I love having his support, you know what I'm saying? His support is like very, very different from what I've had in the past, and how he speaks to me and stuff is very different. There we go. We deserve each other.
Claressa has been encouraging Pap by singing to him, wishing him a happy birthday, and pushing him to succeed. Remy spoiled Pap's plans for a Valentine's Day trip to Hawaii by refusing to sign the paperwork, just as Pap was getting ready to pop the question. Papoose is prepared to move on, but Remy wants to delay things because her brief romance with Easy didn't work out. And Claressa is now upset because she doesn't want another woman interfering in her relationship. This is where it gets really messy. Remy is stalling because of that money, not because she is still in love. Pap maintained her reputation during Remy's 6-year incarceration by raising her son, promoting her music, and even making her mixtapes popular. Thanks to her apparel company, Remy is currently valued at over $4 million. He served as her PR team, manager, and biggest supporter. They consider how long they were married minus 11 years. And TV checks. Album royalties, as she's seated on a good financial foundation when discussing long-term marriages and financial sacrifices. Given that he sacrificed his profession to support hers, Pap's net worth is significantly lower in the meantime. That's long enough for income inequality to persist. Remy knows we're only discussing half of it because she's not trying to sign their paperwork. Because Pap was basically her rock, Remy earns a lot more money. Pap may receive that check if he takes this to court. Remy lost her temper and leaked Pap and Claressa's private conversations. She claimed that Pap had made remarks about Claressa's appearance and threatened to call the police on her. Claressa should handle this maturely now that she's done dealing with the drama. She is a legitimate professional fighter, and if Remy continues to push, she may see a confrontation both in and out of the ring. Now hold on, let's, for a moment, flip everything upside down. Could it be that Pap hasn't really moved on? What if the goal of this whole arrangement is to get back at Remy for making him look bad, rather than to fall in love with Clarissa? You see, Pap had no desire to part from Remy. He made their marriage a fairy tale, rebuilt her profession, raised her child, and waited for her for over a decade. He stayed until Remy became too blatant about it in public, openly being affectionate with Easy the block captain, even when the suspicions started. That was not his intention. He was forced out. He is currently dating Clarissa Shields, who is very committed to him, but is he really that committed to her? Let's be honest, Pap appears like the type of guy who likes traditionally feminine women, while Clarissa has a more athletic and independent demeanor. That balance was what Remy had. Is it really to his taste that Clarissa is making such a big effort to embrace a more feminine side for him? Furthermore, Clarissa is posting messages that celebrate him and show him off like a prize because of the way he behaves around her, while Pap is merely present but doesn't share her excitement.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us.
It is offered. Since Pep has never been a messy guy and has always been rather private about black love and allegiance, I'm here because it annoys Remy. But suddenly, he's in a new relationship and uses public jokes about Remy that don't sound like a man in love to make sure everyone knows it. Remember that men who are truly in love don't go on so fast. They may reunite or entertain someone else, but they don't move on that fast. What will happen when Clarissa understands this is the question at hand, as she is putting her all into it. But what if Pap is only using her to aggravate Remy? What happens if he wakes up one day and finds that he still desires his wife's return? Clarissa might be in for a nasty awakening because of the severe heart attack. Since the first remark I saw was, I think Clarissa will be heartbroken by Papoose because she seems to be really giving it to him, and he seems to be in the background, as if he isn't on what she is doing. I know I'm not the only fan who feels this way. Really feminine in his opinion. I think he's just enjoying punishing Remy for hurting and embarrassing him because he wasn't planning to leave her before she cheated, and he appears to adore thuggish, feminine women. However, since he is in love and doesn't share Clarissa's enthusiasm for the relationship, I don't think he has moved on. I've been worried about this, and although I want to see Clarissa happy, she doesn't realize what she's getting because she's young and vulnerable, and Pap is still Ray's husband. She said she changed into Remy. Since Pap is all about his bag and would never fall in love with someone like Remy Ma, I hope she doesn't suffer any harm. Please let me know who you're rooting for to finally stand up for himself. I'm not sorry. Even if Pap cheated in the song, you didn't notice. Clarissa for being a true one and putting up with all of this crazy criticism in the comments, or Remy for being broke and holding on to a man she no longer even wants.